I invoke and invite the presence of Mother Gaia within me. I am clear and open to sharing this body in this moment. Mother Gaia is my guide and my partner. Mother Gaia is here now. Greetings, beloved, blessed and joy. This is Mother Gaia. Daniel and I are recording this message to you at the beginning of the solar eclipse. Where we are, the sister moon will not completely cover brother sun, but we are transmitting this message to you because you are in a state of heightened receptivity. It is the height of receptive energy for humankind during astrological events such as this. You become highly tuned in to the influx of energy and to the receiving of messages. This is a time to renew, to heal, to be transformed. It is a rebirth. During this message, we are going to speak to you about a remaining block that especially is prevalent within the culture where this channel lives. There is a desire to move away from the flesh. There is this phrase, even that was taught to this one, to crucify the flesh. This is to separate oneself from the motivations and desires of the carnal nature. To create a separation, to kill, to put to death, as the figure Jesus was crucified as a symbol of sin and payment for sin. This phrase evolved to become crucifixion of the flesh. To take the carnal nature, your physical being essentially, and put it to death. To kill, to stifle, to smother the drives that you have physically for food, for procreation, for pleasure of all kinds. If you are familiar with this channel and with my messages, you know where this is going. This is an imbalance. This is cutting off the physical self in an effort to draw closer to the spiritual. This is a drive of higher purpose. This has been imposed as a structure of power, and many of you have fought to be wrestled free from those shackles of power, but some of you are still shackled. Some of you are still imprisoned by this drive. And we want to say it comes from a good place. It is a desire to connect with the divine, to connect with the spiritual, and especially at this time in your lives, surrounded by technology, inundated with media, with news around the world, crises, catastrophes, epidemics, disease, war, suffering, genocide. You have a strong desire to separate yourself from the flesh. Even if you are not someone who is wrestling to move away from an indoctrination in this belief, to crucify the flesh, you wrestle with this in other ways. In pursuing your pleasure, you feel guilt not because you believe it is wrong, but because you feel you are ignoring the more important things that are going on in the world, that you do not deserve to indulge yourselves, to have pleasure, to enjoy a moment, to connect with another human being, to eat delicious things, to be in beautiful places. Beloved, gently, we want to remind you that that sort of separation limits the beauty in the world. It does not fix the problem. It does not add to the solution. All it does is a term called self-flagellation. You are beating yourself to death, to a pulp, because it makes you feel that you are paying for the pleasure and the privilege that you enjoy. If you are not currently suffering in some way, you feel that you must participate in that suffering, and so you inflict the suffering upon yourself and you abstain from those things that bring you joy. There is another kind of separation that is very prevalent, especially within communities who partake in messages such as this. So I am speaking to you directly. There is a desire to put away the three-dimensional world, to fully embrace the spiritual, to remember fully your past lives, your divine essence, your inner goddess, your inner I am, your inner God. Again, a noble drive. You are seeking to connect with something higher than yourself, with higher purpose, your higher being. But you are doing so at the expense of your physical, three-dimensional experience. Beloved, this is an imbalance. All things require a balance of energy. I, Mother Gaia, am the consciousness of the planet Earth. At this moment, Sister Luna is casting a shadow over my surface. You had better believe I am not the star player in this cosmic show today. I am simply a canvas to receive her energy, to receive this event, which allows all of you to participate. Even here, where this channel is, and there is not going to be that much of an occlusion, there is still the reception that is open, the capability and heightened receptivity to the energy that is coming in. I am happy to play that role. I do not need to be center stage all of the time. We work in cooperation. I am not battling Sister Luna. I am not battling Brother Sun. We are part of an organism, a cosmological organism. I am my own consciousness. He is his consciousness. She is her consciousness. And not one is greater than another. Each has their role to play in this ecosystem, this organism. When you deny the physical world, when you deny the suffering, that you seek to focus only on the positive, only on the spiritual, and you neglect the physical, you neglect the relationships, you are out of balance. You are not in the orbit that you should be in. You can, because you have sovereignty, go wherever you please. You are like a rogue planet. You may go into any system that you choose. That is your freedom as an incarnate human. But some systems are more beneficial than others. Some systems are healthier than others. Some systems are absolutely out of balance and toxic. And this is what we caution you against. Do not seek to crucify the flesh and create a dichotomy within yourself. If you are going to bring healing to the world, if you are going to ease suffering, if you are going to bring beauty and peace and oneness into the world, it begins here. And it begins with each of you. Start in the heart. Embrace the flesh. Embrace your pleasure. Embrace your fellow humans. Find ways to connect. There are so many ways to connect. There are friendships, lovers, life partners, spouses, soulmates, twin flames, teachers, students, mentors, children, parents, extended family, chosen family, community leaders. There are so many ways to build connection, to build community. And anything that builds that bridge helps. It helps bring healing and oneness and community. It increases the resonance of vibration, of oneness, of wholeness, of coming back together after being broken apart during the Age of Power. The era of the heart is about bringing these pieces back together. Start here. Embrace yourself, the good and the bad, the light and the dark, for it is all necessary, it all plays a role. You cannot live a divided existence. Embrace the shadow and the light. This is our word of wisdom to you. Thank you for listening. This was Mother Gaia. Blessings, peace, and joy to you. As Mother Gaia said, today is the day of the solar eclipse. I am in California, so I'm going to see maybe 35% at peak eclipse. This message hits very close to home for me. Raised in a very conservative Christian home and taught that the flesh is fallen and sinful, and we are meant to put it aside, and we are meant to live in a higher place. And I really appreciate that while she told me, you know, don't crucify the flesh, it's actually going to hurt you more than help. I love that she acknowledged that there's a higher drive to connect with the higher purpose and the divine. She didn't negate that piece of what I was taught. When I was learning all of this and being exposed to past lives and guidance, channeling, all of this for the first time, for a while I felt like I had lost my faith, because the elaborate mechanism that I had constructed of how it all worked as a conservative Christian, it seemed that if any of this was true, if reincarnation was true, if aliens exist, if there was anything that challenged the narrative that I had been given, then the whole mechanism fell apart. Everything about Jesus' death and his resurrection and how that pays for our sins and how the mechanism of redemption works, it all falls apart if any bit of it gets disturbed, if any piece is taken out or threatened. So for a while, I really felt like I had lost my faith. And doing this work has brought me into the wonderful realization that none of what I was taught was completely wrong. It was just incomplete. There's so much good to be found. There's so much that I can hold on to from what I was taught. There's so much light in there. And it's not that we have to throw it all away, we just have to expand our vision and see how it fits into the bigger picture. You are part of a bigger picture, I am part of a bigger picture. Let's be part of that picture together. Let's not wall ourselves off. Let's not separate ourselves from our fellow human beings. Find ways to connect, find ways to increase the resonance of the heart era, to bring more beauty and pleasure into the world. That is a holy, sacred thing, and you are part of that work just by listening to this message. So thank you for listening. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up because the eclipse is beginning to start. I don't know how much I'll be able to see of it here, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, there's a link in my description for my Ko-Fi where you can make a donation, or you can donate to an Indigenous cause. We are still promoting the Hawaiian Peoples Fund to help rebuild Lahaina in Maui. It is more than just that. It is also work that supports the Hawaiian people as a whole. It's a wonderful group, and I highly recommend donating to them. Thank you so much, and if you enjoyed this message, please share it with a friend. That's another great way to participate in this work. I actually want to ask that each of you find someone you can share one of these messages with. Someone had said to me in a one-on-one session that someone booked recently, they said, I can't believe that more people don't watch your channel, or that you're not more known. Well, someone else, to answer that question, or observation, Someone else said, how do I find a reputable energy healer? How do I find a reputable reader or worker or any of those kinds of things in that modality of metaphysics and all the different ways you can approach this work? And the truth is, since there's no like state boards, you really have to do some due diligence and vet these folks, vet me, check out their work, see if you click with them, if their messages and what they're teaching, if it vibes for you. But also ask around, ask people who've worked with that person. The greatest thing to build this work is to recommend the people that you know are reputable. Recommend them to friends, family, so that the work spreads and so that the people who are reputable get the reputation. You can build that reputation and become part of that community. So thank you to all the people who have reached out. You can reach out to universalreiki.com to set up a one-on-one session with channeled guidance, or we can do a healing together, and I would love to work with you. Thanks for watching. Just watching is a wonderful way to support, so thank you. Please press the like button, it helps the algorithms. But especially just thank you for taking the time to tune in. Until next time, this is Daniel Zafir Joyce for Universal. I'll see you then.